Welcome to Power Hour, where the editors of Power Sports Business interview the movers and shakers of the power sports industry. Hi, everybody. I'm Brendan here with Madelyn and Simon Milestone. And Simon is the founder and creator of Dealer Academy, which is a new online platform for dealers. And we're going to get a little into Simon's background, and then he's going to kind of walk us through how this new platform works and what the benefits are for dealers. So, Simon, welcome.
Thanks very much for the introduction. Appreciate that. Good to connect with you guys. So my name is Simon Milestone, and I'm the founder of Dealer Academy. And really, what I set out to do with Dealer Academy is to address some of the challenges that dealers are facing today. And I come from a family that owned a power sports dealership for 39 years. I kind of grew up in it, very similar to you, Madelyn, in that sense, where my summers were spent in all the different jobs that you would have at a dealership, whether it's parts, service, sales, deliveries, all the different aspects of being at a dealership, and did that throughout my university days, and then came back to the dealership, and then I was very fortunate to have an opportunity to go and work for BRP in Quebec, and I was working inside their BRP Training Institute, and my role at that time was developing sales training. And this was in the early 2000s. So a lot of that training had more to do with just considering people coming onto the lot and how to shake hands and how to ask qualifying questions and how to give a walk around presentation. And I did that for 2 years and really enjoyed my time at BRP and doing development of training. And then I had a heart-to-heart conversation with the family about what the future of the dealership was going to be, and family decided that it was going to be best to sell the dealership at some point. And so in 2012, after 39 years, my dad sold the dealership. And I've had a career in marketing and sales in a variety of different spaces. And that's kind of led me to the place where we are with Dealer Academy and launching this new platform. Coming into COVID, I saw so much happening, in the industry, and people weren't able to come into the stores now, and there was all these vendors that were creating these, products that to help, address the fact that customers couldn't come into the showroom now, and we saw the rise of all this new technology, which is fantastic. But I had this feeling that, once we started seeing people getting bored and had the ability to buy some new toys, now they're selling all their inventory, and I knew at some point we would return to a different type of normal. We had that
Right.
saying, the new normal, right?
Mhm.
And times are different now, and I think so many dealers are trying to figure out how to go back to the same way that they used to run their business with the new way in which that people are got accustomed to buying.
Yeah.
And now, what do we do, right? Like, we need to kind of figure out how to navigate this new retail landscape for dealerships.
Yeah, I think you're right on with. I was surprised how quickly people during COVID, dealers and consumers alike, just flocked online, and were willing to, people who wouldn't even buy, anything from Amazon were all of a sudden like, yeah, I'll buy that on, they're buying everything. So,
Yeah.
and then as we talk about the new normal, what is that? It's like a hybrid, we're kind of, we haven't really gone back. It's kind of hard to put the genie back in the bottle, right?
Hmm.
So we're
Yeah.
we're we're still doing a lot online, and I think that online presence and that online, is it's gotten a lot more prominent for dealers
Yeah.
since then. So, but
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, you have an interesting sense. So tell us a little bit about how this platform began, and maybe walk us through a little bit of
Yeah,
the pages and stuff.
for sure. I mean, like, you touched upon, like, the marketing world has changed, and everything's kind of like all over the place. And for people that have been in this industry for 20, 30, 40 years, like some people, like my father was, running a dealership is hard, and it gets more complicated every day. Like you used to be able to rely on your local yellow pages or your newspaper or your radio ad rep to drive new leads and customers through like your showroom door. But I mean, the good old days are long gone now, and dealers today, they have to navigate the constantly changing digital search and social channels such as Google, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and even email and texting now is such a huge part of the industry to both acquire and communicate with customers. And it can be pretty exhausting, for dealers to try to keep up, right? And dealership life can be pretty lonely and can be isolated and not really knowing, who to turn to for answers. There's limited access to industry specific training. The industry can be fragmented when it comes to their knowledge. I mean, you're running a dealership every single day, so you're not necessarily keeping up with the laws of the land or what's happening, in your backyard, because you're so focused on your day-to-day operations. It's difficult to build strong business networks, for dealerships. A lot of times there's different industries that a dealership might be in. So, I mean, my family's dealership, we were power sports, we were marine, we touched into the trailer industry, outdoor power equipment, and that's kind of the same for a lot of different dealers. And we can be a bit siloed sometimes, whether if we're in the power sports industry, we're kind of in a bit of a bubble, and there's a lot that's happening in very similar industries that we could learn from. So
Oh
again,
yeah,
part of what
absolutely.
my thinking was is that, you know, there's mom and pop power sports dealerships, there's mom and pop RV dealerships, there's the big power groups that have a lot of different ones, but they kind of all have a lot of similar challenges and similar hardships that they're experiencing right now. And so that's where I came up with this idea to not just address it for power sports, but all those other different industries that do have a lot of similarities to them. And really what Dealer Academy is it's an online platform and it's a mobile app as well, where dealers and their staff, so principals, general managers, sales managers, marketing managers, they can come together and they can meet and support each other and get answers to crucial marketing and sales questions, learn from experts, participate in monthly workshops, and identify the right tool or vendor for any job. And so much more is what we've got planned for it as well. Because at Dealer Academy, we really believe that dealers need three things in order to kind of grow and prosper in the way in which that it is right now. First is training. We need to have like really good training. So we've got 33 courses that are built in, which I'll show you in a second. And it's really kind of designed to help dealers learn how to market better so they can sell more, and really kind of shift the thinking from I'm a dealer and I'm an operator of these products, but more of like I'm a marketer. My job really is to get more customers, get my customers to buy more product, and get them to do that more often, right? So
Right.
training is kind of centered around that philosophy. The second thing that we wanted to do is provide a community, and you need to be able to have a community of your peers for support, for advice, to celebrate your wins, right? And a place to ask all those kind of so-called dumb questions without fear of being judged. And even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, like there's different time zones across North America too. So you kind of need a place that's always on, it's always available to you. And that third element of it is the coaching. So we know that there's 20 groups, there's training that happens at conferences and stuff, but we wanted to have like basically like an online mastermind or a place that dealers can kind of go to, and we can really go deep into workshops and webinars and Q&A sessions and one-on-one consulting to really kind of provide that support that I feel that dealers need. So with that,
Yeah.
I'll share my screen and kind of show you just from a concepts standpoint of really how this has kind of come to fruition into some a living, breathing thing here. So with this, so we're on the news feed here. So this is very similar to a lot of social platforms that people might be familiar with, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn. And here you'll see like the recent posts that people have been adding to the platform. And this is myself. This is our panel of experts. But we've also opened it up the platform to allow other people to contribute articles to the platform as well. I would love to be able to say, to a dealer or a general manager or a marketing manager, contribute your advice, wisdom, or what you've learned as best practices in the industry, and contribute that to Dealer Academy, and allow that for people to be able to access other people's knowledge and that sharing. So you'll see a news feed, you'll see the active members here, the different forums, and then just getting into some of the
Now,
elements of what's
let me just
important to
break
people.
in real quick and ask you, just because a lot of people have LinkedIn and Facebook groups and all that. How is this different than being in
Yeah,
one of those?
that's a great question, and I know that people see, okay, well, I am on this group of LinkedIn, or I am on this group in Facebook. The thing about Dealer Academy is we are focused on growth. That is why we exist, to kind of help the dealers grow without the distraction and that you might get on other platforms. So we don't have like pictures of our kids and
Right.
weddings or other groups and other pages that we might be following here. This is very
So
specific
everything
to,
you're going to within this platform is really dealer centric and focused, and not you're not going to get distracted by seeing some shiny thing on
yeah,
LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, which that happens to me a lot. You're like, "Ooh,
yeah,
look at that." And I'm like, "Oh, what was I here for again?" So,
absolutely,
yeah.
exactly, yeah. And another key feature of that is the forums. We have a news feed that allows you to make quick posts, which is what people do in Facebook and it's what they do in LinkedIn. The problem with that is that comment, that tidbit of wisdom that somebody might give, that's gone later in the day or the next day. And
Yeah.
you don't know how the algorithm is playing out, because it's usually like, depending on what you've been clicking will change what types of activity feed posts that you might get. So how we're addressing that and be able to kind of create some longevity in the discussions is, we not only have an activity feed, but we also have forums. So this is where the discussions can live on for not only a few hours in the day, but for weeks and months and years to come, where people might be able to go onto this and search for a topic that they want to see if there's been discussions about that in the forums, and they can go and find that, over the course of years. Like, I don't know about you, but whenever I go to like Facebook or something, and I'm trying to find something that I saw, going to the search, it's just,
Yeah.
I'm never able to
Oh,
find
yeah.
it.
I don't even know how, if I don't react right then, it's gone. I have no idea
Yeah.
where it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and depending on the settings that you have of your phone, if
Yeah.
you power down and power back up what was on your screen, it's now gone, right? So
Oh,
there's some
yeah.
challenges there, right? So
Yeah.
we feel that the activity feed is great, but you need to be able to have like forums where you can have threaded discussions that you can return to, like I said, for a long period of time. So
Hmm.
inside the platform, we've also got groups, and as I mentioned, power sports dealers share a lot of commonalities with truck dealers, agricultural dealers, trailer dealers, RV dealers. So
Yeah.
we wanted to kind of bring them together to kind of share that knowledge and that wisdom of what's going on over here. It might be applicable at my dealership as well. So these
Right.
are great places for people to be able to come, within their industry and see discussions that are, connected to power sports dealers specifically within this group. But it's a great place, like I said, to be able to share knowledge by going into different member areas. We've also got, we're looking for more people who we can say are experts in the field, and allow our members to be able to reach out and connect with some of these people, to be able to ask questions and get their knowledge. Some of the experts are connected to companies, vendors that we all know of, that be able to maybe ask some questions and dive deeper into some of the products and service solutions that dealers might be considering at the dealership. So to that, we've also built in a directory into the platform as well, where people can go and look for what it is that they're looking for. So like Connect, we know from a texting platform, there's Lead Helm, there's Black Pro for DMS, and other companies that are out there as well. And then associations and publications. And like here we are talking to you folks at Power
Yeah.
Sports Business, and we've got a page very similar to like a Facebook business page or LinkedIn page, that your teams or company teams can have their team there to be able to contribute to the community, and hopefully from an educational standpoint. We're
Yeah.
hoping that this becomes a place for people to be able to collectively figure out, best practices and solutions to their problems.
And I could see this portal, platform being something that dealers have on maybe in their back room or even at some of their, so that some of their personnel, if they have a question right then or whatever, and there's not a man, they can maybe go in and find some answers on their own,
Yep. Yep. And
Um,
finding answers is what the training is there to provide. So I've come out of the gate and I've put together a lot of different training. We've got 33 courses right now that are available for people to get on board and to learn about. And so some of the topics that we cover: modern dealership boot camp, talking about like developing a marketing plan for their dealership. Digital marketing can sound a bit technical, and I wanted to kind of like make it into a bit of a simpler language so people can kind of understand, like, okay, if I'm going to go down this road a little bit deeper, I kind of want to get a good overview of what this is all about and what it can mean for me. And then, so that's what that course is about: digital marketing tracking guide. If we're going to be spending advertising dollars, for every dollar that you want to spend, you want to know how much money you're getting back from that from sales. You really want to be able to connect the two. So that's what this training is kind of all about. And then
nice.
we get into digital marketing a little bit more detailed, into like SEO and paid ads and using video marketing for your dealership. Digital retailing, this was kind of a buzzword during COVID, where
Right.
people were realizing, like, how do we do business now when we can't even open up the doors for people? What tools are out there? And some of the challenges that have come out of that is, how do we respond now to these people who are just texting us? And what are the
Hmm.
time frames that it takes? And I know in some of the other power hours you were talking, I think, to Fran, about how long people expect to wait before they get a response, and how there's a lot of work to do there.
Right. Yeah, there's a big gap
Yeah.
still for and I think a lot of it is power sports dealers are smaller than automotive dealers. They don't have as many dedicated staff to monitor this stuff. So, I mean, it helps to have some automated systems, but it can't all be automated. There needs to be human touch involved and
Yeah.
people, you know, verifying things and going back and forth with, hey, let's face it, in the old days, you could spend hours on the phone with a customer sometimes, I mean, just answering their questions. And, a lot of
Yep.
that's been cut down, but it's also, we need to have these real touch points, with
Hmm.
customers still to get
Yep.
and that, to replicate that with digital versus say a phone, there are ways to do it. So,
Hmm. You got to be able to ask some of those inquiring questions that get people to respond, to give you more information. So as a
yes.
salesperson, you can help guide them towards the right solution for what it is that they're looking for, right? And then from a dealer's perspective, like, how do you staff your dealership now? Like, if we have people that are texting us all through the day, and I have salespeople on the floor, do I need a salesperson who's specifically trained in responding to text? And like, what
Yeah.
changes do I need to have within the dealership in order to really kind of respond to that requirement, right? So
Yeah, and they're texting all different people a lot of times. They might be texting a parts manager, a sales guy, or a PG&A person. It could be so, to be able to round that up and not only to strategize how that can all be, somehow managed in a system, maybe a DMS type system or whatever, but it's getting used to that kind of interaction, I think,
yep.
versus in person, which is still important. Obviously the end goal is to have an in person contact, get them to sign the thing and take possession of their vehicle. So
Hmm. Yep, exactly. So we want to also address, like, just from an overall standpoint of planning for the future, and really kind of giving the dealerships and their teams a deeper knowledge base on some topics that I felt were really missing in the industry from a training perspective. And that's what we really wanted to kind of provide in some of these initial trainings that we've got on the platform for dealers and their teams. But we've got a lot of conversations that are happening right with different experts in the industry, people that would like to also have some of their courses and their training on the platform as well, because there's a lot of crossover benefit, and we kind of all wanted to, what my vision was is to be able to kind of be playing all in the same sandbox here to kind of help dealers in the overall industry right now to
It's like
thrive through
a
some of these challenges.
little bit of a digital 20 group, maybe, with
Yeah,
a few more players involved. But um,
exactly. Yeah.
Also, Simon,
you're maybe
just
not. Yeah, go ahead.
well, just so dealers know, I mean, what does it take for them to have access to all of this?
Yeah, great question, Madeline. So we've decided to put the community component of this plus some of the intro training available for dealers for absolutely free. So they can come on and they can get access to the community, create profiles for themselves, get into the forums and the articles that are in the blog, and some of the initial training here in the Modern Dealership Bootcamp completely free. And then anything that happens on the platform, it syncs with the app. So whether you're an Apple App Store person or a Google Play Store person, you can download the app. So you've got it with you. You can take your training, your conversations kind of on the go as well. So it's not just stuck on a platform where you got to be in front of a desktop. Now, if
Yeah.
people decide to kind of go a little bit deeper with some of the training, they can get into the digital marketing fast track and some of these other trainings for $97 a month. They can upgrade their membership at that point for it. So we've made it really
Okay.
reasonable for people to kind of get access to some training and really the conversation and build their business network, like for free.
So the $97 one is more like you've got more one-on-one or maybe more focused time with somebody with a dealership, and maybe it's almost more like a 20 group probably at that point.
Yeah, we do have our mastermind coaching group as well, which
Mm,
is for groups that are looking to kind of bring on their whole team and
okay.
really get focused on maybe a subject. And now this is priced at 497 a month, and that's for the entire dealership. And this is where they're getting, not only consulting from myself and some other members of our team of experts, but also some of the other experts that we have in our conversations right now, to really kind of help take a lot of this information, this training that we're providing, and take them by the hand to get it implemented. Because it's one thing to kind of read something, but after that, you just might say, "Hey, I really need someone just to kind of like help guide me and give me that coaching and that mentoring." And that's
Yeah.
kind of that next level where you're getting more into that one-on-one consulting with the dealership, and we provide that as well. But
Very cool. Yeah.
But
No, I mean,
the forum section is that's free for dealers to have access
yeah,
to.
absolutely. Yeah, so you get full access to the whole community within the
That's
free access. You can download the platform, the articles, all of the the blog posts that are there. They can contribute their own blog posts. They can
yeah.
access the forums. They can join multiple groups, and like I said, they get access to some freemium training right out of the gate, which to me is really valuable. Like the ultimate marketing plan for dealers. I'll
yeah.
just pull this up here. This is something that I feel dealers really need to kind of take a step back and really think about what it is that they're endeavoring to do. As I said, it's so easy to get into operator mode, but not necessarily understanding that I got to remember that I am marketing products to sell. So what's my marketing plan? How do I plan on, focusing in on a target market? What is the message that target market wants to hear? And where can I reach them? What's the best media for me to focus on in order to get that message in front of those people? So that's where this course is really, really important, I think, for dealers to really wrap their head around this, because once they do that initial work, they've got to figure out what's my lead capture system, what's my follow-up system, how am I going to deliver a world-class experience, to that customer? And then at the end of the day, how am I going to follow up with that customer to get repeat business or to get referrals? And that's what this course really kind of focuses a dealership on. And the beauty of it is that it all fits on nicely on one page. So you can have it on your desk, on your wall. Everybody can have a copy of it. And this really is like, this is my game plan on a daily basis for how I'm going to grow my dealership.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome. And it's something that, you could probably lead off your, weekly or daily sales meetings with even, or, have something just kind of go over those points and be like, okay, let's all be on the same page here. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, I mean, this sounds like some great information and a really neat platform. I know it's just starting out, so we're trying to get the word out here. And it's really, what I like is you're not going after it's here to help the dealers. There's no, you're not kind of beholden to one company or one, OEM or anything like that. It's open to everybody and different, perspectives from different publications. Even, some of our competitors are there, but other people, um, I think it's a really good educational resource that you know has a lot of potential to
Help the
achieve things
industry.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that there's a lot of people that want to go for training, and training's great, going to 20 groups, but not everyone in the dealership does that. Usually it's the GM, or the owner, the dealer principal, whoever that may be. They're going to go, a lot of, and they may come back and share some of that knowledge, but it gets kind of lost in translation sometimes too. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, for us to be able to provide that platform where the conversation can extend across the whole dealership is great. Like you said, like a principal or a general manager might go and they come back with all these notes, and then your marketing manager is like, okay, well, how
well,
did
now
how did
what?
the show go for me, or how did the 20 group go from a marketing perspective, right? Or the salesperson's on the floor looking for the tips and tricks or whatever, and they have to translate it over. So again, having something that's living, breathing, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, whether it's sunshine or raining out, you have access to a community that we have plans to continue to grow, not just across North America, but it can really grow around the world. We're bringing people in with that same idea of like, this is a place to focus on growth. How do we survive? The
Yeah, right,
landscape that we're in right now, right? And
right.
and not just wait for that one or two shows that they go to or the next 20 group. Is like, how's the conversation going right now?
It's all that
So
stuff in between, and we do have our own dealer training show, training event. And we try to keep our training kind of in front of people as much as possible, but I think this platform could also be good for us as far as being able to share some of our training, materials and knowledge on that channel as well.
yeah, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
yeah, so we definitely wish you all the success and are looking to help in any way we can. And I know Madelyn's already signed up. I need to sign up still and throw my avatar in there.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
we're
yeah,
looking
so
forward to that.
you know, um, so they go to, if they want to check it out, it's is it dealeracademy.com, or
It's actually
what's
.app, just because we
dot
wanted to
app?
focus on the fact that it is a
Okay.
downloadable app. So,
Yeah.
so dealeracademy.app, so .app. So you can go there, and we've got a nice like long homepage that kind of explains everything that I just kind of went through with you, with a little bit more detail and a little bit more polish, and you can kind of get an idea of
But if you're on
what
a
you're signing up for.
PC or you're on your desktop or laptop or whatever, you can still go to the app there and do the same
Yep.
thing you would with what you would do the app on your smartphone, for instance, right?
Yeah, like I have an iPhone, so if you go to the App Store and type in Dealer Academy, it'll show up,
It'll
right? Or
pop up.
or go to the website, right? So if you go to the website and you sign up that way, you're going to get links depending on, whether you're Google or whether you're Apple, to kind of go out and also download it there. And like I said, everything syncs from the app to the desktop. So whatever is the way in which that you like to
kind of like
absorb the
Facebook, I
material.
guess, does that same thing. You can type in your stuff on the. As you can tell, I'm not super techie at this point. I used to be back in the day, but it's all gone way past me now. So I just try to hang on and survive.
Good stuff. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, okay. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Madelyn, do you have anything you want to ask or add to?
No,
Okay.
I was just I did kind of sign up and I haven't had a chance to engage in it yet, but there's some helpful emails that come through too. And I'm excited to see where it goes and just kind of helps the industry as a whole. I think that's really cool. So.
Yeah, you mentioned the emails. Like we created a bit of an onboarding orientation because we know sometimes when you download an app or start something new, it's kind of like, okay, where do you click first? Like, what do I do? Right.
Yeah.
So we created the Dealer Academy roadmap, and it's a couple of short little lessons, a couple of video tutorials about here's where you go to find this and navigate this and adjust your notifications, because when you're on a community that is living and breathing and comments are flying, you can get like your email inbox can get pretty full with these notifications. So we show you kind of like where to find those settings and adjust them to make it a tolerable experience when you're part of the community. So
well, and it also seems very user friendly and easy to navigate. So
appreciate the feedback.
Of course.
Very good. Thank you very much so much for the time, Brendan and Madelyn. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye, Simon.
We'll keep an eye on it. Yep. Have a good one.
You too.
Thanks. If you like this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. We also invite you to connect with us on powersportsbusiness.com.